Welcome to the Alan Berry Reports TV. I'm your host, Alan Berry Labucan from AlanBerryReports.com. Today we have a new installment of our In the News show. This is a program where we talk about resource companies with recent developments. On today's show we have two companies to talk about. Both these companies are involved with, are both gold-focused companies. And but before we get that started, we're going to open with some comments on short-term trends that we're seeing for the price of gold, silver, copper, and oil, and resource stocks. But before getting started, we always like to start out with our thank yous. In order to do this show, we use YouTube.com as our primary website to produce and broadcast these shows so you can watch them at your leisure. Anybody that's interested in doing online shows, we highly recommend YouTube.com. They got a really easy website to use for that purpose. So I want to thank them. Also, if you're watching the show on our website at AlanBerryReports.com, you'll notice to the left and right of me that we have banner sponsors. Those banner sponsors are really important in us being able to bring the shows to you. If you want to do any of the homework on those companies, the banners on our website are directly linked to those companies' websites, where you can find plenty of information about the people involved, the projects that they're working on, the news that they've had from those projects. And it's a really great place for you to start your research on the companies, and we invite you to check them out. And again, they're directly linked to their websites. And then of course, you the viewers, you give us an audience to talk to about commodities, resource stocks, the stock market, and we really appreciate you taking the time and tuning in. So thank you very much, and we really appreciate it. So on today, I'm just moving some stuff around on my computer screen here. So we'll start with gold. In the commentary today on short-term trends, we're going to start with gold. Gold has been doing very well for 10 years now or thereabouts, and it's been in a very long-term bull market. Now, in the short term, in the last few months, we've seen it reach some record highs in the 1430 to 1445-ish range, and it's been pretty consistently making the high, having some profit taking, making a high, having some profit taking, making a high, and then some profit taking. And this is a very bullish trend on a short-term period. We definitely think that this trend is going to continue. What I'm seeing in the last couple of weeks that I'm really liking is it got to a new record high just recently, but then the profit taking after that has only pulled it back very minimally. And that is indicative of not just a long-term bullish trend, but in a short term. Whenever you see the pullbacks very soft and over quickly, and then a next move up into a new high, is a very bullish trend, and we think that that's what's happening with gold. Silver is actually, on an even more powerful trend. Again, reaching multi-decade highs on a consistent basis. The pullbacks are very mild. We think that that's going to continue as we go forward. It's a very bullish trend for silver. We've been saying for the last couple of years that we felt that silver would significantly outperform gold. In 2010 it did, and it looks like it's going to continue that trend into 2011. So we're looking for some really good things on the price of silver. Copper, copper and oil are the two best indicators to us of what's happening with the global economy. Copper these days is in a very bullish trend as well. We have a very optimistic outlook for the price of copper this year. We think it's going to make some really record highs that catch a lot of people's attention. And what it's saying to us is that the global economy, the economic recovery after the economic calamity of 2008, the the subsequent recovery that's going on now with the global economy is in very sound footing, and we expect to see that continue. The supplies are tight on copper and look to stay that way for the long term, and these are some of the key reasons that we think with strong demand, soft supply, copper's going higher. And our oil is a little different to us right now. It's with oil, we think that oil is kind of probably added on an extra 10 to 15, maybe even $20 per barrel because of the situations that are happening in the Middle East. A couple of weeks ago we mentioned that we thought it was getting overheated and that was ready for a pullback. It did get that pullback, and then Libya came along, the situation in Libya, and that spiked it back up, although it didn't quite reach the level it did before, and that is a sign that the topping is happening, and we're expecting $10 to $20 on the downside fairly rapidly once it starts to correct, and we think that that's right around the corner. The last thing we're going to talk about is resource stocks, and the trends on the resource stocks are not quite, in the case of gold stocks, not quite as bullish as the price of gold or silver for that matter, and definitely in copper. The stocks, resource stocks that are focused on those commodities are kind of fairly not nearly as strong, and so we think that they've got a lot of upside. And again, that's we always feel that in high quality resource stocks, if you can get them at discounted prices or even reasonable prices, will outperform the movement in the commodity itself. And so that's what we're expecting to see with resource stocks. Okay, so that's a wrap on our opening commentary. We're going to go into our first company today. And the first company we're going to talk about is Red Star Gold Corp. On the disclosure, we are shareholders of the company. We also offer consulting services on corporate development type issues to the company. And they are also one of the companies that have a banner on our website. If you're interested in doing some research, as I mentioned earlier, the banners, the banner companies are linked directly to that company's website. In this case, Red Star's website, and you can go find plenty of information about the company on their website. And so we invite you to check that out. Our past coverage of Red Star started on our email newsletter, the Allen Berry Reports newsletter that covers commodities and resource stocks. And we started the coverage of them on November the 1st, 2005, which was our second edition. This is the first time we've had them on the show. Their website is redstargold.com. That's redstargold.com. And the press release that we're looking for is the March 14th, 2011 press release. And so I'm just pulling up their website right now. And on there, right on the front page, they have the March 14th press release. And the headline from that press release is Red Star intersects multiple high-grade gold zones in Red Lake. Then they go on that Red Star, they were pleased to report initial drill results from the ongoing drill program at the Newman Todd property in Red Lake, Ontario. Recent drilling included a highlight drill hole that intersected 3 meters of 42.84 grams per ton gold, including 1 meter of 122.0 grams per ton gold. They mentioned that the current program is focused on the Newman Todd structure, which spans the entire property approximately 2.8 kilometers and has been sparsely drilled along strike. Results have been received for the first 2 holes of a planned 6-hole program, so there's still some more holes that are results that are pending. And then they mentioned again the highlighted hole. Some of the highlights from the drilling on what is called their Heath Bull zone included 7 meters of 18.83 grams per ton gold, including that 3 meter intersection of 42.84 grams per ton gold, and including the 1 meter of 122 grams per ton gold. There was another 3 meter intersection of 22.49 grams per ton gold, including 1 meter of 63.60 grams per ton gold. Then they had another highlighted hole in there. There's a really good quote from a Scott Weeks, who's the president of Red Star, and he stated, and I quote, "We are extremely pleased with the results from the first 2 holes of drilling at the Newman Todd in our current program. Confederation Minerals has been an extremely aggressive partner, and their recent financing has put them in a position to advance the Newman Todd project at an advanced pace. Drilling confirms the presence of a large hydrothermal alteration zone and also includes our interpretation of multiple areas of high-grade gold mineralization within the Newman Todd structure. Drill holes NT056 and NT057 were drilled from the same setup, with NT056 drilled below NT057. The shallower drill hole intersected moderate alteration and mineralization, while the deeper hole intersected multiple high-grade gold intercepts within much stronger alteration. Many of the important deposits in Red Lake have the highest grades at depth. Our past drilling indicates that Newman Todd also has these characteristics. We look forward to further drilling to test a long strike of the NTS and the wide open potential at depth." Then there's a table with all the various different drill holes, and also is a cross-section map that so you can sort of see what's going on at depth from this recent couple drill holes that were done. And so that's all the key information from the. Oh, they also mentioned in the press release that the work is being funded by Confederation Minerals, and Confederation can earn a 50% interest in the project by spending $5 million in exploration within 3 years, and an additional 20% by producing a preliminary economic assessment within 6 years. You can find all of that in that March 14th press release. So just pulling up another page here. So some of the key reasons that we like the company is they're they're focused on gold, but they're focused on 2 of our favorite camps. One is in Red Lake, Ontario. The other is in Nevada. In Nevada, the company has a very good group of projects. I think there's 13 or 14 now projects in Nevada. They have partnered up on a lot of those projects, and that's the goal of the efforts, is to partner up on the projects and let the other companies, the partners, spend the money to advance the projects. And we really like that group of projects down in Nevada. One of our favorite projects that they have is in Red Lake, Ontario. We're really bullish on Red Lake, Ontario. We've done really well with our picks out there because the nature of the deposits out there are very high grade, and that's the kind of thing that catches the attention of the investing community that follow Red Lake. And now Red Star has an emerging discovery in Red Lake that's producing some very nice drill results from their work. And so again, great place to start your homework on the company is on their website at redstargold.com. Again, they're a banner sponsor on our website, so if you want to click on their link, that'll take you to their website as well. So now we're going to move into the second company we're going to talk about today, which is Exeter Resource Corp. On the disclosure, we're not shareholders of the company. They do have a banner on our website. Again, if you want to do your homework on the company, the banners on our website are directly linked to the company's website. Plenty of information there. Just click on the banner and it'll take you to their website. Our past coverage, they are a featured company in our Allen Berry Reports email newsletter. We started coverage of them on March the 31st, 2009, which was our 23rd edition. If you're interested in finding any of our past editions, just look above me at the report section, and in the report section you'll find all of our past reports, and you can either read the reports online or download them in a Word file to read at your leisure. The first time we had them on one of our shows was on the April 21st, 2010 show. Look above me at the shows section. In there we have all of the past shows. We do a little overview of the show, which companies were talked about, and link to how to go watch the show. And that's where you can find that April 21st, 2010 show. Their website is exeterresource.com. That's EXETERRESOURCE.com. Exeter has been a company that we've had on several of our past shows. Again, look above at the show section. You'll find a bunch of them. Our most recent coverage of them was on December the 7th, 2010. And since then, they've had several press releases that we'd like to talk about today. So I'm going to start. I'm not at their website now. That's again ExeterResource.com, and they have a company news section. We'll start with just shortly after the last time we had them on the show. They had a news release out on December the 15th. The headline from that one is Exeter reports on development studies at the Caspiche Gold Copper Project in Chile. They mentioned that they were pleased to provide an update on the progress at the Caspiche Gold Copper Project in the Maricunga district of Chile. They talked about the work that they're contracting to Acre Solutions to do two pre-feasibility studies for their Caspiche project. The first study will consider a standalone oxide gold project to mine the upper part of the deposit, and is scheduled to be available in early Q2 2011, so really close around the corner. And then the second study, to be run concurrently with the oxide study, will consider mining both the oxide cap and the sulfide deposit below. That study is scheduled to be available in Q3 2011. So then there's plenty more details about the work that they're doing. You can find that on the December 15th, 2010 press release. Then I'm going to move over to the back to the company news section. I'm going to go to their 2011 press releases. They've had about 5 others, so I'm going to try to get through them pretty quickly here. On February 8th, the headline from that press release was Exeter secures option to purchase water rights for the Caspiche Gold Copper Project in Chile. Obviously, water is really important in the mining operation. Securing your water in Chile is really important, and that's what they talk about, how they've completed that, reached that milestone in the press release. You can find plenty of details about that in the February 8th press release. Then I'm going to move back to the next news release is on February 14th. The headline is Exeter exercises option acquires this Caspiche Gold Copper Project in Chile from Anglo American. They give you all the details that they've now completed all of the work and payments and everything that was required for them to have the 100% interest of the Caspiche project. It's now been completed. I believe there's a 3% NSR, a net smelter royalty on the project. There's some more details about that. Again, you can find all that information about the details in the press release on February 14th. Then on March the 1st, 2011, the headline is Exeter options adjacent to Caspiche project adjacent to Caspiche Gold Copper Porphyry in Chile. They were able to get 100% interest from Xstrata Copper on some ground that's really adjacent to Caspiche. this whole region of Chile is there's lots of major mining companies. Kinross operates in there. Barrick operates in there. There's plenty of these large-scale discoveries like Caspiche, and now they've got some more promising ground to explore. And that was in their March the 1st, 2011 press release. Then on March the 15th. The headline is Exeter reports progress on the Caspiche standalone oxide pre-feasibility study. They give you a bunch of details about the work that they're doing to advance and study. As they mentioned in one of their previous reports, there's sort of two components to the Caspiche discovery. Near surface, they have what's called an oxide cap. And that's a gold-only oxide cap. And then below that is a very massively large sulfide deposit. Now, that's where the bulk of the deposit, the resource at Caspiche is located. But what's interesting about the oxide cap is they're talking about the potential to produce somewhere in the neighborhood of 150,000 ounces of gold from that. And by bringing that into production before you do the large-scale sulfide, you would start to be able to get some cash flow, and that might be able to help fund the larger operation of mining the sulfides below that. And so that's why they're doing this two-pronged approach to the feasibility assessments, is to test the economics of doing the oxide mining first, the gold in the oxide cap, and then get to the deeper deposit, or the larger sulfide deposit below the cap. And so there's a bunch of details in there about about that work. And there's a really good quote from Exeter's chairman, who is Yale Simpson, and he stated, "Our heap leaching simulations are providing very good recoveries for the oxide deposit that forms a gold-only blanket of mineralization overlying the main Caspiche gold-copper resource. As the oxide deposit must be removed to access the lower sulfide ores, we are encouraged that the potential exists for an economically viable standalone project independent of the much larger oxide sulfide project. Should the outcome of the oxide PFS study be positive, it will provide the option of moving immediately into the detailed feasibility studies and mine permitting. This option could provide a far shorter timeline to production than the full oxide sulfide project." End quote. So there's some more details about what I was just talking about there, and Yale does a really great job of encapsulating it there. And then they had on March the 22nd, they also had another press release out. Exeter reports positive results from Caspiche project sulfide test work. And so then there's a whole bunch of details on there. We're not going to go into that. Since they've last been on our show, they've definitely had a lot of news out. You can find those 6 or 7 press releases that I just quickly spoke about on their website in their news release section. And so that's the key information that we wanted to talk about from Exeter's recent press releases. Some of the reasons that we like the company is that they're in Chile, which is a mining-friendly jurisdiction. They've got a really large resource of copper and gold. This resource is found in a well-known mining region. As I mentioned earlier, Kinross and Barrick are operating mines in that area, and it's an area that's well known for these very large deposits and mining those deposits. And the key milestones that we're looking for are these two pre-feasibility type work that they're doing on 2 projects that are coming out. The one to test the oxide cap and the economics of mining that first, and then or the sulfide and oxide operation. So we're looking forward to those. One's Q2 and one's Q3 of this year, so they're not too far away. And Exeter is also a very well-funded company. They are a very aggressive company, so they have a really good news flow. We expect to be talking about them a lot in future shows. Again, a great place to start your homework was on their website that I mentioned earlier at exeterresource.com. That's exeterresource.com. Or you can click on their banner on our website, and that'll take you to their website as well. So that's a wrap on our In the News show today. Before closing, we'd like to stress that this show and our reports are for information purposes only. We aren't making buying or selling recommendations. It's important for you to do your own research and speak with your financial advisors before making any investment decisions. We're always trying to grow our audience, and any efforts you make to let your friends that follow the markets know about our website, our reports, our shows would be greatly appreciated. We also greatly appreciate you taking the time to watch these shows. We know that everybody is very busy these days, and we strive to produce a show that saves you time and, most importantly, brings you helpful, high-quality information. Our next show, we'll be doing another In the News show later this week. The best way to keep track of the shows that we're doing or any public speaking engagements, any television interviews we do, is to be on our email list. There's no charge to be on our email list. Just look above me on the website and you'll see the subscribe section. We send out updates whenever we have new work out, and it's a really great way for you to keep track of the work that we're doing. We hope you can join us for future shows. You can find all of our work on our website at allenberryreports.com. We'll see you soon, and have a great day.